As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled? No. Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started.
Kyle Rittenhouse, not guilty, acquitted on all charges, happened live on the radio show today in a stunning moment. I think Jim and Mike would both agree. Just breathless when it was happening. Joining me now is someone who predicted it just days ago on the show, our good friend and a great legal mind, former attorney to President Trump, Jenna Ellis. Jenna, I don't know what else to say. You said it just a few days ago. You said, don't read into this long deliberation process. They're probably dotting the I's, crossing the T's. And you said, I expect a verdict around midday on Friday. And you called it.
Thanks, Dan, and great to join you. And, this was something that I've been on the defense side many times, and the jury was not going to want to go back for the weekend and have to come back Monday. So typically in these types of cases, when you start deliberations early in the week, that's how it goes. And I was just so grateful that the jury clearly was not intimidated, so that they weren't either hung and said, we don't want responsibility of this, we want to deflect, or that they weren't intimidated into a guilty verdict on one of the lesser charges, what we call splitting the baby. Basically, okay, the highest counts we're saying not guilty, but we're going to give them something, them meaning the people who were calling for riots in the streets and who are clearly upset that today justice was served. And that moment, Dan, when Kyle heard the verdicts and he hugged his lawyer, I tweeted a screenshot of that and said, this is what it means to be an advocate. There are so many times where I have been in the defense counsel's chair in trial, knowing that my client deserves justice, deserves that not guilty verdict. That moment is the best moment possible. That lawyers love advocacy and advocating for justice. So I'm so grateful to the defense that they pulled this one off and they advocated for justice.
Yeah, I mean, you and I both agree it probably wasn't the best job of defense. I mean, there were a couple of things went wrong, but overall, thankfully, we got the verdict. We wanted justice is what we wanted. We're talking to Jenna Ellis, host of the Jenna Ellis podcast, former lawyer to President Trump, and a good friend who, again, nailed it, said that there would be a verdict likely sometime on Friday. I want to just double down on one of your points there about the jury. This was brave to do this. These people are not living in a bubble. They've not been sequestered. Yes, they've been told don't speak about the case, avoid media. Jenna, listen, they're human beings, clearly, whether by osmosis or, ESP, whatever it is, they know what's going on. They're not dumb. They live in Kenosha. They knew the heat around the Jacob Blake case and the heat that happened afterwards that led to this incident with Rittenhouse. They could have been intimidated. It would be quite human to say, gosh, I don't want to live the rest of my life worrying about someone staring over my shoulder because I was a juror. They know the media pressure. This was brave. And let me ask you this. Does it reestablish your faith in this great country? I'm kind of torn on this because you and I both know this kid shouldn't have been in the court in the first place. There was never any even reasonable suspicion that this kid did any of this.
Right. And, and especially after we saw the MSNBC reporter follow the jury bus last night. I mean, these guys, the jury knew what was going on, at least in the sense that they know the public pressure on this. They see the cameras in the courtroom. They see it filled with reporters. That's not typical for a trial. It would have been easy to cave to that pressure. But this is, it doesn't reestablish my faith in the system per se, in the sense that the prosecutor should have never brought these charges to begin with. They should have looked at the evidence, gone where the evidence led. The prosecutors are the one here who were cowards.